Stephanie Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. The biggest reason why coaches don't start their coaching business is because they think that there's some perfect time, they need more Instagram followers, or they need more knowledge in order to get started. And here's the thing, our brains are never going to present us the perfect time to start because it's wired to keep us safe. And let's be honest, it's a big transition. And so you might be thinking, where do I even get started? And where do I find clients? Do I need a certification? I want you to know something. The only thing you need to start your coaching business is a coaching offer. You don't need a certification, and trust me, you don't need more Instagram followers. You don't even need to know your official coaching niche in order to create a coaching offer. The offer is where you serve your clients. It is the service. It is the coaching program. It is your container. And in order to help you get started, I've created a live class, a live training on Zoom, Monday, November 13th, called the Offer Oracle. And inside this masterclass, I will teach you the biggest reasons why new coaches don't see sales and how to avoid it, how I created my first $100,000 in my business through my offer design process and my sales system, both of which I will be sharing with you on the live training. I will also teach you how you can make coaching a full-time income while you're still working your 9 to 5. And how to make sales in your business without the hustle or capitalistic wounded masculine strategies or the white supremacy mindset. I will also be offering a special 2 private one-on-one calls bonus with me. The first call on creating your custom sales map to make money right away in your coaching business. And the second one being a 2024 yearly planning call so you have clarity and direction for the entire upcoming year in your coaching business. I want to give you everything you need to be successful and make sales as a coach. So you get access to those directly after the masterclass when you join us inside Business Activation Academy, which is my fundamental course for new coaches looking to make money in their coaching business, or coaches who have already started their coaching business wanting to create more clients, more sales in their business. And all week from November 13th to November 17th, Business Activation Academy will be $555 off, meaning that entire week you can join BAA at $5,000 flat for the one-time enrollment fee and get lifetime access to the course and lifetime access to our live coaching calls that happen every first and third Wednesdays led by me. So you will have access to the curriculum as well as coaching and personalized feedback by me to make sure you are making money in your coaching business. The link to sign up for the Offer Oracle Masterclass is in the show notes, and I cannot wait to see you there. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 things I wish I knew when I first started my business and to give me the courage to start my business. Courage is such a beautiful word. And the definition of courage is the ability to do something that frightens you or creating strength in the face of pain. And I do think that in a lot of ways, when you first start your coaching business, there is a lot of fear. Sometimes there is pain, and it feels like a big transition in your life, even if you're just thinking about it. And so I want to offer you some tools that will help you build courage and find the courage that's already within you, because each of us already has built in strength and courage and wisdom. And if you're already listening to this episode, there's already a part of you that is sold. So we want to tap into that part of your brain right now today, that you don't have to create brand new thoughts. I mean, I will be offering you some thoughts that maybe you haven't thought of before, but I do want you to go into that place in your body, in your brain, in your soul and spirit, where you already know that this is what you want. Maybe it's not like 90% of you. Maybe it's even only 10 or 20% of you. But let's just tap in and listen to this episode from that place, the place of you, the part of you that has already decided that you are going to start your own business, that you are going to go and do this full time, that this is something you desire, and allowing yourself to desire that, allowing yourself to explore the courage within that, and listen to this episode from that place. All right. So the first thing I want to share is just decide. I know that sounds really simple, but a lot of the times when we're having what I call mind drama, when we're spiraling, when we are freaking out, when we're frustrated, when we're feeling confused or overwhelmed, we're spinning, right? It's literally like a spinning action. Sometimes I literally feel like my brain is spinning around. I definitely have those moments. And what helps me is just lay out my options and I make a decision. I can only imagine. I mean, when I started my coaching business, I was let go from my day job as a marketing manager because of COVID. And at this point, I had just taught my first masterclass and I had offered some free coaching spots to some of the students who had come. And I had decided after I got let go from my job that I wanted to be a coach. So I kind of knew that this was something that I was exploring. I mean, I had been a content creator for years. I'd already been making part-time income from, being a content creator. And I was, essentially moving into a role as a social media coach, even though kind of unofficially. So in a way, I had kind of decided, but it was very different. And so I can imagine and understand the fear. And by the way, I did this while I was, still barely making rent, single mom, going to school, right? So there were lots of risks in me deciding to jump from being let go into going full time into a coaching business that was brand new. Which I don't know that I would recommend that to anybody. It happened that I had many things I had built up over the years, including an incredible community that I had that allowed me to make sales pretty quickly in my business, even though, of course, it did still take some time. So the first thing is just deciding. And when you just decide, like, even though you're working your day job, but you decide you're going to be a coach, you're going to quit your job at some point, right? Maybe you set a deadline within a year or whenever you make enough money for, to cover your essentials, to cover your bills. And maybe that looks like looking at your budget and creating a budget and looking at exactly the dollar amount you need to sustain yourself. And that is the revenue that you would be making in your business, right? And so when you feel like that is coming in, then you do quit your job. But you just start, you just decide, and you just allow yourself to start. That is so important because I think some of the spiraling comes from just not having a decision made. or some of the spiraling is caused because we are just not allowing ourselves to sit with a main option that we've decided. Like there are options in front of us. We might not even be thinking about the options. We might just be spiraling, but deciding, allowing yourself to make a powerful decision is so important. Okay. And it'll also allow you to feel less drained at work. Because when you're in it and you're trying to fight everything that you don't enjoy at work, all the things that frustrate you and that make you angry or upset or frustrated, and your boss that's nagging you, or a manager you've never gotten along with, or a coworker that you just can't stand, everything feels so heightened when you're trying to force yourself to be grateful and like it. But when you just decide that, hey, I'm not going to be here for that much longer, I'm starting my own coaching business, you tend to soften a little bit. You tend to just realize like, okay, yeah, I don't have to get so caught up in all of the drama at work and every single thing that's happening, because I'm doing my own thing. I'm building my coaching business. This is what's important to me. That's where my energy is flowing to. Number two, do not wait for everyone to get on board. Your parents and your closest friends are likely not going to understand what it is you're doing. And here's the best thing about that is you don't need their support in order to be wildly successful. And I know every single one of us, especially us as daughters of immigrants, especially if you're the eldest daughter, if you were raised as a people pleaser, we want our family's approval. And growing up, that was something that was really ingrained into me and what I should have as a daughter, as a woman, as a, being socialized as a girl. There were so many things that kind of wrapped around my parents' approval of things, not just because I was a child, but also because that was really ingrained in my culture. And so I completely understand wanting your parents to understand what it is that you do and being on board. But the truth of the matter is, they didn't grow up with the resources that we grew up with. When they grew up, they had to get a college degree and get a good paying job, typically in corporate, in order to pay the bills and to be seen as a as to see as like they've made it, right? And so growing up, I remember it was always get a college degree, get a good, job at a Fortune 500 company that's like well known and something that's stable. And starting your own business isn't seen as stable. And you add in the component of meeting with clients virtually or meeting people on social media, and it just goes way over their head. Right. So don't expect your parents to understand, because they're likely not going to get it until you're starting to make good money. I remember having conversations with my dad every single time I saw him, and he asked me some version of like, what is it exactly that you do? Where do you find clients? How are you making money? Right. He just couldn't understand it. And I'm sure even if I asked him today, I'm sure he'd still have questions, even though we've had so many conversations about my business. So just know that that's not something you need in order to be successful. Don't waste your time. I remember conversations in the kitchen, in my parents' kitchen, when I would go and visit them, and just trying to explain, like, well, this is why this is important. And what I think it really showed me was that I wasn't really on board. I didn't fully believe. I was the one that needed to be sold to, or else it doesn't really matter. Like now, if my dad brings something up or someone brings something up, I'm like, yeah, you can think what you want. It's fine. It's okay. I don't have the energy. Like, I'm not going to fight you on it. You can think what you want about my business. I'm not worried about it. Like, I used to get so triggered in the beginning where there would be comments left about my business and things people would say about how I'm making money or about me. And I'd be so triggered because I didn't fully believe in what I was doing. I was still figuring it out, and I was still really brand new and all of these things. And now that I know who I am and what my business is doing and what I'm capable of, none of those comments mean anything to me. They literally I look at it as if they're saying like, the sky's purple, Tiffany, the sky is purple. And I'm like, no, it literally just isn't. And so if you believe that, it's okay. I'm allowed to think what I want and you're allowed to think what you want. And I'm okay with being misunderstood. I'm 100% okay with it. Not a problem. It's okay. Move on. Right. Whereas in the past, I would be so triggered because I wasn't fully there. So when I started to realize, oh, it's a mirror, of course, it's a mirror. And I started to work on myself and my own mindset and my own thoughts and my own beliefs. I started to build a really strong self concept and I started to build a really strong mindset around my business that became really resilient, which I think is so important and so much more important than trying to get everyone around you on board because just expect them not to. And if they do, wow, you are incredibly lucky and you're probably one in a million. I know, it's very rare that my students will come to me and be like, my family's super excited. I'm starting a coaching business. They're super supportive and on board, especially if you have immigrant parents. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if you have support, even from like one or two people in your life, consider yourself extremely lucky and privileged because that's just not the case most of the time. Okay. So don't wait on it. You have to hold on to your vision. You were the one that was shown the vision, not your parents. Okay. So they're not going to see it until you're starting to make really good money. You're the one who has to hold on to the vision because the vision chose you. The vision didn't choose your dad. The vision chose you, right? So you're going to see the vision, you're going to feel the vision, you're going to sense the vision and have a relationship with the vision and the spirit of your business in a way that nobody else will. So when you keep waiting for everyone else to be on board in your life before you take that first step, you're going to be waiting a long time. You just have to decide. I see the vision. I know the vision. I feel the vision. That's good enough for me. You just have to decide that that is good enough for you to take that first step. And eventually, I mean, if they're friends and family that really love and support you, they will get on board at some point, especially when they see you starting to be successful. And unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be sometimes, that people are not going to fully see it or understand it unless they see success, right? And it's not our job to try to convince everyone around us, especially people that we don't know, right? But even your parents, it's not your job to convince everyone to get on board. It's your job to sell yourself on your offer and fall in love with your business, co-create with the spirit of your business, and really look at everything that's coming up for you, all those triggers, as wounds that need deeper healing and deeper attention and awareness around those specific beliefs that they stem from. Okay. All right. Number 3. So number 1 was just decide that you are a coach. Number 2 is stop waiting for everyone to be on board to support you. That was number 2. And number 3 is starting to work on your mindset now. Do not wait, especially on the mindset part, because taking the action is actually not that hard and not that complicated. I think the biggest thing in the beginning is your mind. Your mind is going to play tricks on you. Your brain's going to be an asshole just because that's what it does. And you're going to have all of these thoughts. You're going to have all these thoughts. Just expect it. Don't be upset when they arise. Don't be upset when the mind drama comes up. Just expect it. Just know that's coming. It's literally on its way. Just expect it to be here. And all you need to do is figure out how to self-coach yourself when the mind drama arrives. It's not whether or not they're coming. It's on the way. What are you going to do about it? Okay. So that's going to be really, really important, is you're going to have money drama. You're going to have price drama. You're going to have offer drama. You're going to have client drama. You're going to have drama about your self concept. You're going to feel inadequate. You're going to feel imposter syndrome. You're going to feel all of these different things. You're going to wonder, can I be consistent? Is this something I can keep up? What if I don't make any money? Now I'm posting. What does my coworker think? What does my friends think? What do my family think about these posts that I'm making? Oh my gosh, are people going to misunderstand me? Am I going to be, if I say this one thing, like you're going to have all the thoughts. And it's going to feel really big and heavy, especially in the beginning. And then it starts to kind of quiet down. Like now I can say something quite outlandish on social media that I really, really believe in and be totally fine about it. Not really have a vulnerability hangover, not really worry about who sees it. I used to be so worried about my daughter's friends' parents finding me on Instagram and seeing the things that I posted and wondering what they think about me and, if they would talk about me to their partner or their family or whatnot. Cause I'm, this single mom, I'm running this business. I talk very openly about money. I also have videos of me dancing. I talk about sexuality, right? And all these things that I share on social media. And I would just worry, like, is that gonna, how is that going to impact me when other people find me? And now I'm just like, whatever. it's not a problem. So you really root yourself in practices that work for you. So this is where I would start playing around with journaling, maybe doing some morning pages, maybe having go-to podcasts that you listen to and that you really anchor into your routine and that you allow yourself to be that you just allow it to be part of your schedule. Right. And the reason that I'm giving you some options is because that's going to look different for everyone. I'm not just going to say, okay, go and listen to a podcast every single morning at this time as part of your morning routine. Right. Like when I was building my business, I would, depending on the day, like I would wake up at different hours. I would have different things I had going on during the day. So you have to find a spiritual practice that really grounds you and that really reminds you why you're doing this and reminds you why this business means so much to you, whether that's like intentional thought work that you do through journaling, or maybe it works really well to speak it out loud, right? Or maybe you're someone who really loves to meditate and it's something that you're really good at, right? I'm not. So I typically like to journal and speak to someone. So you have to find what works for you to really ground yourself as the mind drama comes up so that you know how to navigate it and it doesn't cripple you and and kind of force you into a low value cycle where you take no action and you postpone everything and you just kind of fall off the face of the earth. Okay. This is really important because the mind drama is going to come. All right. You're a human doing a new thing. You're making a new transition. You're going to feel emotions and they're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to think thoughts and those thoughts are going to feel heavy. All right. So having a self-coaching spiritual practice that grounds you, brings you back to center, reminds you of who you are and the confidence that you can feel in your body as you evolve into this new self-concept. Because think about it, you're stepping into a new identity. There's a version of you that doesn't belong anymore. The version of you that's been working this job and that has been just over it and done with your nagging bosses and coworkers and managers and the toxic workplace and the environment that no longer serves you. Like there's a version of you that no longer aligns to that. You've outgrown that. And so you're kind of in an in-between. You're no longer that person, but you're not yet this, coach that is actively running your business and actively working with clients. You're almost there. You're getting there. You're on the way there. Right. But you're kind of in this in between where you are going through an identity shift. So it's not just a career change. It's not just a transition in your life. It's not just quitting a job. It is a complete identity shift. It is a death and a rebirth. right? And I am a 5 times Scorpio, and Scorpio rules death and rebirth. I am a new person every week. I'm also a 3-5 generator, which the line 3 essentially means like you're bumping into things, things are bumping into you, you're learning from experience. And then the line 5 is like, here's how I can teach you. So you're literally learning from the best person who I have done all the deaths and the rebirthing. I have made all the mistakes. I've bumped into all the things and all the things have bumped into me. I've made every mistake you can possibly ever think of running a coaching business. And now I'm doing very well. I'm about to cross my first million in my coaching business. My students are absolutely thriving. The rate at which they sign clients and create results is faster than I have ever seen. And I know it is because my level of coaching has evolved so much. And it's because I've gone through so much of every single one of their issues so well that I know exactly how to coach them. So just know you're going through an identity shift. It's okay. It's not a problem. You're going to get through it. It's going to be the best thing for you. And this leads me into number 4, which is hire a coach ASAP. If you could have done it yesterday, it will benefit you so much, right? Because the most important thing to know when you're starting your coaching business is to get coached, is to coach, and to learn about marketing and selling, which is why I created Business Activation Academy. Business Activation Academy teaches you how to market, how to sell, how to create your first offer, how to decide your coaching niche, how to sign clients successfully on sales calls, and it comes with live group coaching calls that I lead every first and third Wednesdays of every single month. So not only are you learning about marketing, you're learning about sales, there's lessons on mindset infused with spirituality and manifestation, and you're also getting coached by me on these calls. And my job is to make sure you are making money in your coaching business and that you are able to coach as many people as possible so you can develop your coaching process, learn how to speak to your best clients, right? There's so many things underneath the bucket of sales that you have to learn as a coach. Like, how do you speak to your clients? How do you understand what's happening in your client brain, right? What are the things that I need to say? What are the things that I am not saying on sales calls, and evaluating that? Evaluation is a really big part of what I teach my students. You're not just taking action all the time. You are taking action and then reeling it back, evaluating what you did and what you created and the results. And then from there, asking yourself, okay, what do I want to do differently? What do I want to do that's staying the same? What did I learn? What went well? What didn't go so well? What am I proud of here? Who am I becoming here? What did I think when I created this result? What do I want to think to create that result? Right? So a lot of this is so intertwined. It's mindset, it is spirituality, it is strategy, and creating your own custom sales strategy that works for your specific business. Because here's the thing, we all need a strategy. We all need a way of showing up online that works for our business, right? But you don't know that. And I don't even know it for you, right? I know kind of the basis and the framework, but you have to go and test that strategy out to see if it works for your audience. And that is what we do inside BAA. And that's why it's so important, right? And also, working with a coach allows you to see and receive the feedback that you can't see because of your blind spots, right? So I'm assuming that you're listening to this episode, you're starting a coaching business, and it means you haven't started and completely built a very, very successful coaching business. There's a lot that you don't know. And working with a coach essentially allows you to break through all of the things that you didn't know about coaching and about building a business and about marketing, about selling, about your beliefs. And a coach is able to point out all those blind spots, offer you feedback, and essentially fast track your success That's why I call coaches the cheat codes, because you literally get to have the cheat codes to the result line, right? And allows you to create success in your business faster than if you were to try to figure it out on your own, right? So this is really, really important. This was one of the biggest things that I did when I started my coaching business. Was I hired a coach, and I hired them fast. I immediately started working with my first business coach, and he helped me to all the way to, I think it was like 100K. Yeah. Like all the way to my first six figures. I think even beyond that, it was real. I think it was actually like from 0 to 200K, really. And I don't think I would have done it in that quick of time. I did 200K my first year in business, by the way. And I don't think I could have done that if I wasn't working with a coach. No way. No way. I think I could have gotten there on my own, maybe in like 2 years, maybe 3 years, but doing that in a year. So working with a coach is like being told, it's like all of the problems and roadblocks and obstacles that you avoid. It's almost like you don't even know, right? Like you don't know what you're missing until you hear someone else going through something and you're like, "Oh, I never dealt with that. Wonder why?" Yeah, it's because you're working with a coach. Because you're working with someone who is able to help you navigate that, right? Like think about sports teams who have coaches who help them come up with a strategy and also help them point out where they can improve, right? How successful would athletes be if they didn't have amazing coaches behind them, right? Coaches have always been a part of any successful industry. Coaches are not a new thing. All right. Coaches are what help us create success. Okay. Even way back when it was like real bro markety, there were coaches, sales coaches that would teach you how to sell and teach you to become a better salesperson, right? Whether or not their practices were something that I would get behind, I don't know. But that's what coaches do. Okay. Coaches help you to see success quicker and in an easier form, in a way that is simpler for you so that you can be successful. So that's really why I created Business Activation Academy. I wanted all of the brand new coaches to feel really supported and know that you can learn how to market, you can learn how to sell. It doesn't need to be extremely complicated. In fact, it can be really simple. I created each of the modules to be really easy to follow, easy to digest, simple lessons that you can watch, take notes on. There's homework, there's workbooks, right? Just so it's really simple for you to follow and to see results. And that's why I also added the live coaching component for the people who are going through the modules and they also want support. They also want feedback on what's happening in their business. And I'm able to offer that personalized support. And even in the private Facebook group, just today, I responded to 2 posts. 2 people popped in their Instagram posts and said, "Hey, can I get feedback on this?" And I'm like, "Yep." I went through it with a fine tooth comb and I pointed out all the areas where they could have been more specific and where this could have been tweaked. And what if you said this instead of that? Or like, what were you thinking when you said this? What thoughts were going through your head? Maybe we need a coach on that, right? Or something came up and I was like, "Hey, this is very, very vague and I'm not sure what you mean by this. Let's work on it. Can you work on it and give me some examples?" And she was like, "Yep, I'm going to post in it. I'm going to post them tomorrow and you can look at them." And I was like, "Okay, amazing." So there's so much close feedback that I offer my students inside Business Activation Academy, because that's what you need when you are learning to sell, especially through your content. When you are learning how to sell, this is priority. Okay. And then number 5 is do not wait to have it all planned out or all figured out ahead of time. It's like a video game where you can only see the level you're in and you can't see like what you're moving into next, right? You can't see 10 steps ahead because you're building it as you go, right? You don't know what it's going to look like because you're just taking it one step at a time. And inside Business Activation Academy, I even teach my students to sell an offer that's not fully built out, that's not fully finished, right? I think sometimes what we think in our heads is like, okay, I need to have like week 1, week 2, we do this, week 3, we do this, week 4. Like just open it up and build it as you go, right? Especially with one-on-one coaching, you don't need to have agenda like that. You can just have a call where you set up their desired goals and make sure that they're clear on what they want to create in their life, whatever it is you're coaching on, right? Say that you're just a general life coach and you help them, work towards those goals each of the sessions. So you know what results they want to create through working with you. And through every single session, you follow up on those goals, you think about them in between, you offer tools that will help them. And you hold space for them and you give them, maybe it's homework. I mean, you don't have to give homework, but maybe you give them homework and they work on something in between the calls so that they really step into this person who has these results, right? But in order to do that, in order to build an amazing process, you have to test it with your clients. And that's why inside BAA, I also teach a system called beta clients, which are free or discounted practice clients that you practice coaching with in order to become a better coach. And in return, they give you a testimonial and they give you feedback on coaching so that you can improve and continue to be a better coach. I teach you an entire system on how to find beta clients and something called the beta client tracker. And that doesn't just track their progress and results, it tracks what you think about coaching and who you want to coach, who you enjoy coaching, what you enjoy coaching on, right? The length, is this the desired length for the optimal transformation and results? So many things on there that have helped so many of my students work with beta clients and then sign paid clients afterwards and even transition some of their free beta clients into ongoing paid clients, which I teach you how to do that inside BAA as well. So that's number 5 is don't feel like you need to have it all planned out, all figured out. Okay, first I do this and then I do this. Like I need a whole business plan and I need to figure everything, ahead of time so that I know what I'm doing step by step, month by month. Like it's just not going to work like that. And if you try to do that, you're likely going to be really disappointed because think about it. You're building a brand new business from scratch. This is something you've never done before. You might not even know exactly what it is that you want to coach on. And even if you do, we can never really guess the timeline in which we are coaching clients, signing clients, launching our offer, talking about it on social media, right? Testing out social media content strategy, right? Seeing if there's another platform that you want to market on. Like a lot of this is going to take testing and experimentation, or else if all you had to do was show up and post a couple things and make tons of money, we would all be bazillionaires and we would all decide to be coaches. Like screw all the other occupations, like everyone just become a coach, right? And it's a reason that it doesn't happen like that because there is an experimentation, there is a bit of a buffer time between the time that you start and people start finding out about who you are and your content becoming more refined, learning to speak to clients, and then when you start booking sales calls, learning how to conduct sales calls in order for people to say yes. So how sales calls typically go is, you'll get a couple of them booked and then people start saying yes, but then it might end up being a no, or lots of people saying no. And then eventually it's less people saying no, more people saying yes, and less people saying yeses that turn into no's. And then eventually you have a bit of a rhythm going where most people are saying yeses, very little people are saying no. And the people who say yes, they continue being a yes, right? And that takes skill. That doesn't just happen immediately. Even if you have a sales background, selling as a personal one-on-one coach is really different than selling a product that's a part of a really big company that's given you a sales script to read off of a phone or to, do sales in some specific way. It's very, very different than coaching. So you have to give yourself some time to start seeing results between the time that you start and you start creating content and reaching out to people or going to networking events and meeting people and telling them you're a coach to the time that you start seeing results actually happening in your business and clients actually being signed into your business, right? And that timeline looks a little bit different for everyone. Again, everyone has a different schedule, everyone has different goals, everyone has different income that they want to create. And so that's why it's also important to work with a coach so that you can create a custom sales and marketing plan that works specifically for your business and your offer and allows you to make money in a way that is simple and clean and works for you and is aligned for you. All right. So those are the things that I want to leave you with that I wish I knew to help me create more courage to start my coaching business. And the last thing that I want to share is to join us inside Business Activation Academy. This is a signature lifetime access program that I created for brand new coaches to learn how to sell and to make consistent sales in your business. It's also for the person that's already started your coaching business, but you feel like you're speaking to crickets. Maybe you're making sales, but they're really far few between. It's like kind of hot and cold. It feels like pulling teeth to try to make sales, right? Like maybe you're averaging like 0 clients a month right now, and then maybe 1 client every other month. Or maybe it's clients like once a month, but you'd love to ramp that up to like 2 or 3 new clients a month, right? If you just want to look for more in your business, more volume of sales, you want to sharpen your sales skills and your ability to close clients on sales calls, this is the program to be in. I literally give you extremely specific, catered to you and your sales calls and your sales feedback and coaching to make sure that you make money in your business. And I'm holding you accountable. I'm checking up on you. If I haven't heard from you in a while, I'll reach out. Like this is the program to be in, and this is the community to be in. It's such an incredible supportive community where everyone is really rooting for one another. And I love seeing my students just really rally together, support one another, congratulate everyone when someone books a new client or does really well on a masterclass. These are all things that we do inside BAA and having a community. And one of the things I wanted to mention too, while you're working on your mindset, is also spending more time with people who think like you. Likely, if you want to start your coaching business and you're a spirit-led coach, you're spiritual in some way, you probably had one or many spiritual awakenings and really deeply understanding more about your intuition and your soul gifts and your soul purpose and your dharma. And this is what everybody in BAA takes really seriously, is their soul purpose and their relationship with their spirituality and with spirit and the universe and manifesting their goals. And so being in a community like that where everyone is a coach, and especially if your friends and family don't understand exactly what you're doing, it's so important to be in a community where people do understand what you're doing and you do get the support and encouragement and empowerment you need in order to keep going. All right. So being inside BAA allows you to learn everything you need to know on how to sell, how to create compelling and converting marketing, creating a custom marketing and sales plan that works for your specific offer, and also learning to develop out and design a clear irresistible, simple one-on-one coaching offer that sells to your best clients. And that's what I'm here to do. I've helped hundreds of students create extremely successful coaching businesses. I can help you too. I'm about to cross my first million in my coaching business in 3 years. I started in 2020, in April of 2020. And my business is now, it's about to cross over the $1 million mark in sales revenue. And there's so much I've learned. And all I want to do is be able to serve other coaches, specifically women, women of color, and really help you to see the results, the sales, the aligned clients that you want to see in your business to create that freedom, to create that full-time income from your business. So I invite you to join us inside Business Activation Academy. The best time to join is Monday, November 13th. I am doing a live training called the Offer Oracle, which you can sign up for in the show notes. It is a live training to help you create and learn to create and sell your first coaching offer. So if you don't have an offer and you're not sure what to sell, you're not sure what you want to coach on, I highly recommend you come to this live training. It's going to be Monday, November 13th at 12 p.m. Pacific. And I will teach you, will walk away with an offer and you'll walk away learning how to sell it. And when you join us inside BAA, because I'm going to invite you into BAA directly after the webinar, and when you join us inside BAA, we'll be able to work on this deeper together in a more intimate setting. We'll be able to come up with a sales plan and be able to execute it and, run tests and experiments on it and see how it's working. And I will be able to coach you on any mindset shifts that are coming up for you, mindset drama, and really help you to step into this new identity as a confident coach. That's what I want to help you do. And that is what my coaches in the beginning have helped me do. And I want you to be able to sell from a powerful, convicted place. Because guess what? Even if we're doing all of the quote unquote right strategies, but we believe in our heart of hearts that people don't want this, or maybe I'm a bad coach, or maybe I shouldn't be even doing this, right? You need coaching on your mindset from someone who fully believes in you and fully believes that you can do this. And when we first start out, like, we don't have that full belief in ourselves because we only know what we know, right? And we're limited by our own limitations. And so when you work with a coach who's worked with hundreds of coaches, AKA me, and I believe in you so deeply because I see your future. I see you being a full-time coach. I see you having the life that you desire and the freedom you want and the way it's going to change your family's life and your life. I see all that when I look at you, but you don't see that because you're limited by your own thoughts and beliefs. And that's normal. That's just where you are when you're starting as a coach. That's another reason why it's so important to be working with a coach as you're starting your coaching business. Because to become a better coach, you have to be coached and you also have to coach. So when you're receiving coaching, you start going, oh, so this is how it is. Oh, this is what's impactful for me. Like, it's so powerful to be a coach that is in integrity, that is also being coached and is also investing in her business while you are asking for people to invest in you and your services. So Monday, November 13th, Business Activation Academy will be $555 off. And when you join on Monday only, you get access to 2 bonus calls. One of them for sales planning. We'll come up with a custom sales plan together. And then number 2, we will do a 2024 yearly map. So you go into 2024 with direction on your marketing, your content, your sales, and you know what your year is going to look like. And if you're working a job, I can also help you to come up with a schedule that allows you to work on your coaching business and go through the BAA modules and really build out what you need in your free time when you're not working. So if you're working a day job, that's something you want to grab Monday, November 13th. All right. So mark your calendar. That's when the Offer Oracle will be. That's when I will be inviting you into Business Activation Academy. It's $55.55 normally, but the week of November 13th, it will be $5,000 flat. All right. So get ready. There are payment plans available. You want to join us on Monday, November 13th, get access to those 2 bonus calls for sales planning and 2024 mapping, and access BAA for $5,000 flat. All right. You can sign up for the offer oracle in the show notes, and I will see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.